do you think you would still want to do what you're doing now if it was just you? Or do you think knowing that you are lonely in this, but you're not lonely alone?
Hey guys, how you guys doing? It's Wells. Welcome back to another episode of Ninth Stride.
What's up, boys? It's your A-side. I fucked up.
Nah, keep going. I don't care. Keep going. I'm leaving this.
It's your guy, AK. Sorry, guys. I just woke up now. Wells pulled up to record and I was sleeping. But welcome to another episode. Lovely to have you back. Shout out for the support. Yeah,
realist.
Kick it off.
Yeah, okay, so I was thinking about this on my way here, like literally as I was walking here. And and I think for me, like one thing that I've been thinking about now is, dude, this transition into adulthood is getting a bit intense, dude. You know what I mean? Like there's so many other things that are, I don't know, like changing, so many things that are like becoming more prevalent the older you get, you know. It's like a lot of like these barriers or like veils that we had like as like kids or teenagers are starting to like be taken off, and you start to see that, okay, this shit is happening, this is happening, people are forming opinions here, people are forming opinions there, dude. And it just kind of makes me think, like, do you think like you can ever actually be prepared like to be an adult, or does it just, you take it as it comes?
I think you have to take it as it comes, you know, because we all have an idea of, you know, what gets stripped away, what stays as, you know, you grow older, but you never really expect it when it comes, you know, with whether it's your allowance, it's you cooking for yourself, it's you needing your own transportation, petrol, whether it's you just needing to be solid mentally so you can do all the other things that are expected of you, you know. I think, you never really know what's gonna come. But I think, look, you can, like we always say, like with opportunities as well, I think set yourself up in the best way to be ready for that. You know.
But then, okay, so now my follow-up question is, and I feel like we should have clarified this in the beginning of when we started, because a lot of the things that we say are like very harsh, or like harsh in a sense, you know, and like very like, if you want this, then you need to be like this, calling people out for shit. But I think it's important to clarify that, like, and we can get into this as well now with the shift into adulthood and being comfortable, etc. But a lot of the things,
comfortable,
a lot of the things that like we talk about, that we say, like especially when we're being harsh in terms of like adapt to your environments, it's very much like targeted at the people who say that they want to achieve the great things or phenomenal things at a young age. And now the thing that I want to address is, I feel like we also need to say that just because we are addressing those people, it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing to not be that like those people. You see what I'm saying? And I want to link it into like adulthood to say that a lot of us are like going through all of these changes and are being like thrown into adulthood earlier than others. Sorry, my throat is so dry. Earlier than others, or having to deal with things at an earlier stage than others, just because we're all in different stages in our lives now. But then now, with that being said, I then again want to pose it to you of like, do you ever feel like you've been thrusted, whether it's self-inflicted or not, thrusted into like adulthood way earlier than other people have been, you know? Like when we talk about these things, do you think, oh, this stuff that I'm saying right now is directed at a certain group of people, or
I think, so myself personally, I think I have, but I think more so on an emotional level of things, you know. I think I've had to face and deal with adult issues, you know, mentally and emotionally, so whether it's family or, you know, things like that going on. But in terms of, you know, the things that we speak about, the things that we try and tell, you know, we try to do and like tell other people, that group of people to do, I think but I think in that, I think I am throwing myself in the deep end of the adulthood pool. But I think in that, it's like we said, that preparation for when I actually have to deal with it. So like I've spoken to my dad, and even he says a lot of the things that I put myself through, I'm doing, I don't need to be doing. Like, he's still here, he's still supporting me, you know. So I think there are a lot of things that I'm doing myself, which maybe I don't need to, you know, that will come later with adulthood.
Like not normal right now, at least at this stage in adulthood.
Well, not normal based on
we can get into that as well. But
so for example, like, let me get into that. So my dad was like, kids your age go out for lunches with their friends, go out for drinks, go and do this. How can you spend all your money on business, on investments, and like not go out, not have takeaways? Just like a small example. But I was like, I get you, but would it not be nice then when I do want to be doing these things, then I actually have money? Because that's an adult problem that people face later on, not having the money or time to support the things that they do want to do. So I think, yeah, I am throwing myself in that pool, but I think it's in the name of preparation for when I have no choice but to be in the deep end. So now I have that choice, so I'm just learning how to maneuver around adulthood, how I want to adult when I don't have to. So I think yeah. Yourself?
Yeah, I think about this a lot, because it's like sometimes like I'll be sitting down and I'll be working now, and maybe like let's just say I'm activated, like I'm going, like let's say I'm like hour 3, and it's going into like midnight, and then my dad comes and he's like, yeah dude, don't forget you have class tomorrow, like go to sleep, like get some rest, and in my head I'm like saying like, okay, yeah, no, 100%, but I'm also like, no. I'm like, no, I still have things that need to be done. But sometimes, like I said, like in those situations, I catch myself like, yo, like I don't need to be doing this at all. You know what I mean? Like, of course, and like I said, it's very different for many different people who are in different stages of their lives. But for us, like, we're very fortunate to still be like supported by our parents to a certain extent. Like, large extent, yeah, dude. And it's like, you don't need to be doing that. You know what I mean? So whenever I'm stressed, or like I'm like texting you and I'm like, dude, oh my god, like I'm so fucking tired, it's like, at the end of the day, nobody else is forcing me to be in that position except for myself. You know what I mean? But it's also like, I enjoy it because it's like, okay, I enjoy it because I know that I'm one of the only people doing it, but I also don't enjoy it because I'm one of the only people that are doing it. You see what I'm saying? It gets like, not lonely, and we've spoken about loneliness, like, but it gets very like hard to then branch out of, especially when you make that like your regimen. Regimen. When you make that like your daily regimen, to be like, yeah, I'm doing this and this, to break out of it, then it's like, yo, I can't do this. Like I feel so uncomfortable. I feel so guilty. I feel so like, I don't know, weird, like not doing the thing that I feel like I'm meant to be doing. Because that's my idea of like adulthood, But yeah, overall, dude, it's freaking.
I hear you. I think
it's terrifying.
Even with that, I don't know. I look at, let's say, for example, my routine. Like, I think it is quite extreme. For the age I'm at, and in terms of like, I don't need to be doing all of this. It's all a choice. So, I think in the same way, when I'm stressing, or I'm like, oh my goodness, like things are not going well with business, things are not, I'm like, bro, like, why are you stressing about a business? You shouldn't be. And I'm like, but, I think for me, how I sort of make myself feel better, or it makes sense to me, is I think, or maybe it's because I know I'm not forcing it anymore. Maybe in the beginning it was a force, but now if I were to stop doing all the things I'm doing now and live a normal, young adult, adolescent life, I don't think I'd be happy. I don't think I'd be able to sit knowing that I'm not pushing myself to the max I can. I'm not applying my brain to the max I can, like, I don't think I would be happy just knowing that. And this is not to say that anyone that is doing this is in the wrong, but
I feel like we always need to preface that, like, it's not to say that if you're not doing that you're in the wrong, or there's something wrong with you. No, it's we're speaking to a very small niche of people, that can,
they also had to clarify. But so for myself, if I was just going to uni, coming back, when I finish my task, I'm done for the day. Like, I have nothing else that occupies my mind. And I say this because I've been there. So I think for me, I wouldn't be happy. I need to be, after that, pushing my business. I need to be pushing my body. I need to be trying to read 40 books a year. That's, I
just as footy.
Nah, that's not my goal. I just said
that.
I just said that now.
Yo, dude, yes. Soon come.
Yeah, so I think with all of that, it's just become my personality. I think I've seen that, or I think maybe for me, it's, I ask myself, besides not wanting to, or maybe now not being the said right time, am I able to? Like, do I have the ability to do this? Yes, I do. So why not? Like, yeah, maybe it'll come later in life, but it can be now. I can do it now, So yeah, I think that's just how I sort of make peace with it with myself. When I do have those moments of I shouldn't be stressing about this at this age, I shouldn't be, worried about I haven't stretched my mind to the max of its, but yeah.
I think it also really depends on like your spheres of influence, right? Like it depends on what you consume, like who you talk to, and kind of who you surround yourself with, right? Because if you're with people who are telling you that same thing of like, no, it's okay, you're young, dude, like slow down, take a break, like that is most probably something that you'll like be swayed towards. Like, nah, I am still 21. Let me just get my degree. Let me just, have life experiences. Go do that, live a life, etc. But then it could also be the opposite side of the coin, where it's like the people around you, you see them pushing, you see them doing things, and they're telling you that like, dude, get all of this shit done now, or get the ball rolling now, so that when you're older and you actually have the money that you want to have, doing those things will be way more fun, way easier, and way more possible to do, right? So it's like I kind of wonder, and like I feel like when you're having conversations with people, you can kind of pick up on like which side of the coin that they're on, right? So for example, with like ourselves, we have like a mixed like we see both sides of the coin. But like for me, for example, personally, I strongly sway towards the other side, because I've seen that side, I went through it, I did it, I enjoyed it, but now it's just like, it would be great to go to a festival right now, but it would also be great to go to a festival and pay for all of my friends and pay for all of our accommodation, and then go on an extended holiday that I also paid for, and still have change, and you know what I mean? Like those are like the kind of things. So I feel like it also just ties in with desire, bro.
Yeah.
Really, don't you think?
I think so. I have a question on that.
Yeah, hit me.
Do you think that if you didn't have friends or people, just peers around you who say were on that other side of the coin, and by that, so people who are on this extreme side of really wanting to achieve everything as soon as they can, do you think if you didn't have the mastermind group you have, you didn't have conversations with the people you did, and say maybe even podcasts, because I know we both consume quite a bit of podcasts, say you weren't watching as much of that as you did, do you think you would still want to be doing what you're doing now? And I'm asking this because obviously with, say you said, like, if I have an environment of friends who are on like, no, just do it later, you have time now, and obviously it would be nice for me, we all want to fit in somehow, we want to fit in with someone some way. If they were the only influence you had, do you think you would still want to do what you're doing now if it was just you? Or do you think knowing that you are lonely in this, but you're not lonely alone, has helped you continue wanting to do it? And I ask because I think for me, I look at, because it's quite close friends of mine who are also, in this mastermind group, who I have these conversations with. So when I think of, what, I'm going to be lonely now, but I'm going to spend my money, like you said, pay for holidays with my friends, I know that I'll have a group of people who are doing it with me. I'll have a group of people that we can decide now we're going to Ibiza. We can decide now that we're doing this. But I'm trying to wonder myself as well. If I didn't have those people, would I still want to do this? Would you still be able to enjoy the loneliness? Would you want to enjoy the loneliness?
Like, yes and no. So like, firstly, with the loneliness, I think the loneliness would probably be way worse, right? Because it's like, in itself right now, even with the mastermind group, like, it's loneliness. We spoke about this I think 2 episodes ago, that you have to endure, that you have to go through, because just because you have like these structures in place that like you can go to with people that can relate in some sort of way, you can't always go to those people because they're also busy doing their own thing, right? So it's like you're lonely, but to a certain degree. But now, if it was lonely to the fullest degree, like as in those people didn't exist, like you're asking, it would be way, way, way harder. And I think I'd probably like suffer a bit more. Maybe I'd like have my parents to talk to, but my parents aren't 21, so it's like that would only go so far. So I think generally it would be way more difficult, In terms of would I be doing it? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yes, like yes
right
and no,
now, not like ever do it, but right now, would you be doing it now?
Not to the extent that I'm doing it at. Not like with the steam that I have right now. Like if if you guys didn't exist and I wasn't consuming all of these podcasts and having these outside influences, it would just be an idea in the back of my head, like, yo, dude, I need to do this, I need to do this. But would I have the action? Would I have like the switch, the drive to do it? I don't think so. You know, I want to give myself the benefit of the doubt, but just like thinking of it just genuinely, I don't. Maybe not. Maybe not. You?
I don't think so. I
At all?
really. Again, I think it's that thing of
Because we've always been hungry, dog.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like even matric, like we've always been hungry.
But
You know?
remember last episode, winners and losers have the same goals. So I'm thinking.
Oh,
about,
okay,
you
okay,
know,
okay, yeah.
Would I have gone through to letting it be more than a goal? You know, if all of us had goals, we'd all be speaking about our goals still. But if no one, and not to say one started in me, but if no one had started or I had seen that no one has started chasing them as well, would I?
You'd be a bit comfortable and be
You
like,
know.
okay, I don't need to.
Yeah.
Shit, okay.
And I think
Okay.
with that, I don't know if you see where I'm going. I want to pivot
Carry
to
on, carry
now
on.
asking the question. 4 people say are watching this are, you know, trying to get out of that from making it a goal to now actionable steps. But that is their reality, that all their peers, all their surroundings, everything they are exposed to is saying, wait, you don't have to do it now. It's saying you can relax.
Did you
So
see my
like-
notes?
Oh, is that on your notes?
Did you see? Yo, what the heck? Dude,
Nah.
did you see my notes?
Deadass.
Dead ass.
That's crazy.
What? Okay, carry on, bro. Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess I was gonna say now, with us now saying that that's how we think we do, what advice do you think you could give to now someone in that situation now?
Well, let me just pull it up.
Oh,
I
that's
guess.
crazy.
That's
Oh, I
insane,
did
dude.
not even see
That's
these.
pretty next level. Okay, so it kind of, it speaks exactly to it. So I wrote this when I don't even know when I wrote this, but it was just an excerpt that I wrote. So it says, if you look in the mirror and your inner voice tells you that you can do more, you're not crazy. It's not a hoax. Your subconscious is actively telling you what you need to do. However, it's up to you to push back against the complacency that prevents you from moving forward. If you really want it the way you say you do, prove it and stop gaslighting yourself into mediocrity. Break out of your habits and get what's yours. Choose your regrets and act accordingly. That's literally...
Choose your regrets.
Yeah, and you said that I think even in the last one, but like I think that's probably like what you need to do is to listen to your inner voice that's telling you like, fine, everyone around you isn't doing what you think you can be doing, right? But if you want to like achieve those things and you want to be different in a sense, it all starts with like taking like initiative. Be ruthless, like be ruthless in everything that you do. If you have to cut off your friends for a certain period of time, do that. If you have to I don't know, set 5 alarms to wake up and get out of bed, do that. That's exactly what it is. Like I think that's probably the best way I can put it in like a brief answer, because I don't want to ramble on about it for hours and hours. But it's do it. You're not crazy. If you know that you can be doing more and you want to be doing more, then do it. Like stand up, like literally just open your laptop and search business idea and flow from there. You know, shit like that, dude. You?
No, I get you. I think so. Mine is more related to, I think maybe your environment.
Yeah.
But I think, so let's speak friends. If friends, family, if everyone around you is telling you that you can wait a bit, you don't need to do it now, or maybe that's the message you get from what you see, I think maybe reframe the purpose of those people. So
Okay.
say everyone gives you advice, cool, but am I with these friends, these people right now to get advice on my future? Or am I here to fulfill, maybe I was bored, maybe I want to have a conversation about politics or whatever the case may be? But you then need to find a different source of what is going to help me, guide me, what environment is going to be there for me in terms of my future. So my friends, I'll see when I want to have fun, when I want to do this, but then when I'm thinking about future, what is it? It's my subconscious mind. So I listen to myself, I meditate, I, understand what I want. I watch podcasts, I make, if those are your friends now, like mentally when you're at home, those are now your new friends for that purpose, So just, not everyone has to fulfill every role or purpose in your life,
It's not possible.
Yeah, it's actually not even possible. So don't look at what everyone is doing and saying and think, oh, so I need to take this because there's a general consensus amongst. No, but it's cool. You wanted to see them for your family. You love them. You want to do this. Your friends. You have this purpose. and your podcast or whatever it is that will get it, that aligns with what it is you want to do, make that where you get that source of advice from, that advice that you take. And I think we've said as well, you can't take everyone's advice, because at the end of the day, it's all just data that you need to make work for your system. What that advice they gave you, whatever it is, whether it's right or wrong, it's relevant. It came from a system that makes sense to them, so just understanding how you want to operate your system, what is beneficial to you, because not everything you see and hear is beneficial. You have to filter out.
That's real. Yeah.
You have to filter out what makes sense to you, and I think that's the advice I could give. Maybe for someone that's more like me, because I think I do rely on people a bit. I love being with people. The loneliness of everything does get to me. So whether it's finding one person that I can work with, even if they're studying and I'm using this time to work on my business, but whatever it is, that find what works for you and manipulate, apply it to those situations. If it's needing to cut off friends for a bit, then it works for you. If it's, like I said, finding that one friend to do something cool, if it's whatever it is, you just need to find what works for your system to get you up and running.
I love that. I love that. Yo, I love that a lot. Yeah, I think that's adulthood.
Yeah.
If we're being honest.
Yeah.
That's adulthood.
Yeah.
I think though, where it gets hard for people is like either taking that first step, but also identifying that, I'm not in that correct place. I'm not in the correct environment to be doing that kind of thing. And I think to go in conjunction with what you're saying is like, if you can't even find a podcast that suits you, I think a nice way to do it is, and this is something that I did for myself, was find a mentor. Like there's always that one person who, like, when you give me 2 seconds. There's always that one person that, like, when you see them on TikTok or on social media or, whatever, watching a TV show, you think to yourself, like, yo, that person is cool. Or, yo, that guy has a Ferrari. I want that Ferrari. Like, find someone who maybe is, like, a final product, and be wary of this, though, right? Because it can get dangerous. But find somebody who represents what you want your final product to be, right? Understand and, like, kind of study and break down what this person does. So whether that's like their job or, how they execute their business plans, read a biography about them, find out about this person and make that person your mentor. Don't make them the person that you want to become, but make them your mentor. Learn from them, learn from their mistakes, understand what it is that they did, for example, to get into the tech space. If you want to get into the tech space, like you say, filter through that data, adapt it to yourself and move in that direction. That's probably the best way to start, bro, because if you can realize the type of person that you want to be and you see an example of that in front of you, then learn from history. Like right there. We said this 2 episodes ago. Elon Musk literally went to school, like right there. You know what I mean? Already, every single person that goes to school in this area already has that in common with Elon Musk. That's a crazy thing to say. You have something in common with the richest or second richest person in the world, and just build from there, dude.
No, I like that. And I think even with that, say with the whole podcast thing, right? I know we've spoken about doom scrolling, and I think even in myself, I procrastinate sometimes, when I know that I should be doing something, but watching a podcast or whatever makes it feel like I'm being productive, even though I know I'm not. So even in that, and like, I know it's bad, but I think the benefit that I've taken from it, even though, look, I am procrastinating still, when I look back, say the next day, when I look at myself, I have the thoughts that push me to, like, okay, don't do that again. You have to be better. You want to be better, because
real.
Even though I've been procrastinating, I haven't been surrounded by BS. What has been keeping me busy is still things that are aligned with what I want to do. So like with the whole mentors thing, so it's cool. I'm procrastinating by watching my mentors for 7 hours. So tomorrow maybe when I wake up, I'm like, okay, you can't do that again. But it's because of the things that I heard yesterday that push me to still do that, So I'm not saying like that's something good you should do, but I think if you are, or if you do find yourself in that situation where, I don't want to promote the wrong things actually.
But now you're spitting though. It's like waste your time in a good way. I think don't waste your time at all, bro, but like waste your time in a good way. I feel you. I think like, okay, so like before we close it off, like how do you find podcasts that align with you? Because we're saying like go out there, find mentors, find podcasts, find environments that like do that, especially now if we're saying to people that don't have friends around them who are going the direction that they subconsciously tell themselves to go. They have podcasts, but how do you find the right podcasts? Like how do you do that? Do you have any like recommendations for people, or is it like keyword searches? Like
I think for me, I think find something and understand what you want that podcast for and what I mean. So say I'm looking for something that is practical, I want a podcast that's sort of going to tell me wake up at this time, eat this, do this. If that's how I like to receive advice, then maybe I'd get a podcast that aligns with that. But if maybe I want someone who speaks more about God, who's going to also get me more aligned with my spiritual thoughts, my religious thoughts, maybe I find someone. But I think it's a, what's it called, when you have to like go through a few to sort of understand the type of podcast you like and don't like.
Trial and error.
That's the word, trial and error. But I think just maybe having an understanding of the type of conversations you want to be hearing. Do you want more direct advice? Do you want to just hear about the general consensus of these successful people, what it is you're looking for? So I think I have a podcast for each category, really. So one would be, say, Alex Hormozy. He sort of breaks it down for me, tells me like step by step, here's how you're gonna do this in your business, so that applies to business. But then maybe there's Luke Belmar, who will help me more with the actual step by steps, like do this, drink water, go to gym, do this. Then I have someone else who aligns all of this, but they're more with meditation, so then I watch those different things, because I don't think there's one that will be perfect. There's no perfect,
covers like all bases,
everything. So just I find ones that fill each of those, and even ones that like Diary of a CEO. Some episodes I watched simply because I just like the person he's interviewing, and I know it'll be some sort of intellectual conversation, and I may not take anything away, but I also may, it's just entertainment. It's more so entertainment, but it still is going to engage my mind, so I think I choose for every mood category that I'm trying to fulfill. And yourself, how would you?
I think everything that you said, like I completely agree with. It's just like look for people who are doing the things that like you want to be doing. Like for us, for example, if you're watching this, you're probably either watching it because you are friends of us, or because the things that we say kind of like motivate you because it's coming from someone your age. I kind of like, for me, that's at least the goal that I want this podcast to be. So like for us to speak to our peers, and of course if there's people older or younger listening, great, please stay. But like, so it's things like that. So if you are 21, you're most likely listening to us. But now if you are, I don't know, like you said, looking for business advice, how do I scale my business in 6 months? Which you should never ever do that, by the way. Say you want to scale, but anyway, how do I scale my business in this podcast? Then you'll come up with the options, and you kind of have to do that thing of trial and error. Like, okay, I'm listening to this guy, is he likable? Sure, he's likable, but is he saying a lot of nonsense? Probably much, So I think implement like keywords, literally search what it is that you want to learn, and put podcast at the end. Literally, that's it. But in terms of recommendations, I'd say Modern Wisdom with Chris Williamson. He's pretty goated. Diary of a CEO with Stephen Bartlett. Freaking amazing. Founders podcast for business owners. Like, I fucking love Founders. Acquired is also pretty good, but I don't listen to it as much as Founders. Those are pretty much the three that I cycle through. And I always, because of my interest and my goal of like what I want to achieve, I don't really listen to the ones that don't apply to me, but they do like cover like a good spectrum. But those are probably the ones that I would recommend and say you guys should check out. And of course, stick around for Triumphant Strides.
For sure.
That's one of the ones. But
quick question before we close.
Hit me.
And I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Fuck.
Frick. What do you want people to take away from everything like that we're doing here, the whole podcast? What would put a smile on your face, knowing that
I think like, and I've kind of experienced this already, is like when people message me and they say, yo, even if you don't watch this full thing, you know, like to say like, yeah, I watched what you said I watched Triumphant Strides, or I followed the TikTok and that clip said this is like, and specifically I said this already, but when it comes from people our age, like when I know that my peers are listening to the things that we're saying and are finding some sort of benefit in it, that just makes me like be like, okay, fuck yeah. Like I couldn't be asked about the views or the subscribers or whatever. Like this is more so just like you said, an archive for ourselves to just watch back and be like, yo, 10 years, like I'm gonna remember when we were sitting in apartment 3111 and talking about like all of this shit. Like that to me is crazy. But in terms of for the viewers, yeah, it's like I like to resonate and spark some sort of inspiration, or, you know, get someone's mind going that's our age or within our generation to be like, why the fuck would I not do this? Especially like I said in the beginning, the ones who want to do things that are out of the ordinary. Like if you're telling me you want to be a billionaire, my boy. Yeah, I've said this millions of times, but wake the fuck up then.
Real.
Yeah.
You? I think, yeah, like with what you said, the same thing. And I think with having people come back and give that feedback, it sort of made me realize like you're helping a real life person, you know. And I think even just looking at the people that I watch on social media that have helped me so much more than they will ever know, like probably up until, unless I'm able to tell them somehow, they'll never know how they've helped or impacted me,
or like sent you in a direction.
You know. So I think just seeing that that's possible through just uploading the video, you know, it doesn't need a millions. One person that watches it could be someone who is the next Elon Musk, because they're like, yo, like you said something that just got me out of this, or you set me on the direction of, you know, like just it's a real life person that can actually take away something from this. And I think I've just seen the power of knowledge and sharing that knowledge and wisdom and including people in it. So I think, yeah, bro, just being able to help one real life person. Yeah, man.
I love that. And with that being said, guys,
hope you enjoyed the episode.
Thank you for watching.
Like, comment, subscribe.
We'll see you next time.
That shit.
Oh damn, you almost had it. I'm sorry. Oh damn.
Nah, sorry, I couldn't believe it. We didn't plan.
So cool. Da-da-da-da-da. We'll take you guys in the next one. Peace. Oh, that would have been so hard.